Oh yeah, we're back, baby. Playoff weekend. We got playoffs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Welcome back to the one and only official Get the Edge sports betting podcast with myself, Teddy Brooks from the Sports Profits, Scott Mathews from SM Picks, who is not here this week. We'll get into that in a second, and my illustrious co-host, TK from TK Wins.
Yeah, man, great to be back in the studio. We were on road a couple weeks ago. I forgot to bring your tequila in today. I'll bring it again next week.
Well,
we have a couple of shots here.
Well, that episode that we did at the quarter deck, that was screwdrivers at 10 o'clock in the morning for me.
10 o'clock in the morning, we were popping them.
It had me cursing for the first time ever on the podcast.
Joey Burrow got knocked out.
Joey effing Burrow. I got to be careful though. I don't want to get these videos banned. But actually, I gave out the Bengals over the weekend on the free game, and I mentioned it again.
Speaking of that, man, you got to see they're all complaining about Kansas City Chiefs tanking that game. Just get the Bengals out of the playoffs.
I watched a video of Chris Broussard, and he went on like a 2-minute rant about what the Chiefs did, and he said he had an interesting take, TK. He said that he believes that if teams keep doing that at the end of the NFL season, he said that's how it all started in the NBA. Teams would take off the last couple games, bench their players the last couple games. Then it turned into players sitting out in the middle of the season, early season for load management. So he made like an interesting point that the NFL needs to be careful because, it's kind of not fair to the Bengals, but it is what it is. If the Chiefs would have played that game with their full squad, full power, we most likely would see a different playoff scenario.
Yeah, Dolphins would be in the playoffs. Dolphins,
they lost. They lost. So the Bengals, Joey Burrow, and the Bengals, rightfully so, would be in the playoffs. The Dolphins are another story.
Tyreek Hill,
Tyreek
man. He's too busy running a store down in Miami. I think he's wants to get out of Dolphins Stadium on there. He doesn't want to do nothing.
Well, you know who else had a store in Aventura Mall when he played for Miami?
Who's that?
LeBron.
LeBron did?
He had a store called Unknown in the Aventura Mall. Didn't make it, obviously. I'm wondering if because the store that it's in the Aventura Mall, I'm wondering if it's the same location that LeBron had his store. But, he doesn't make any sense. He goes, I got to do what's best for me and my family. Your family benefits from the biggest contract that you can get, and that's why you went to Miami in the first place.
Well, he does have 17-plus kids to pay for, I think, so they got to watch out for that. He's got to stay in the NFL for at least another 5 years.
I think he made about 75% of them down here.
Jesus.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, we got a couple players going, too. I know you don't like the NBA, but Jimmy Butler as well. He wants to say goodbye to Miami. You know what I got to say about Jimmy Butler? I'm not a Heat fan, but get the hell out of Miami. I can't stand him as a player anyways. So.
I have mixed feelings about it because I have seen him do some great things in the playoffs, but they still haven't really got it done. But yeah, man, it's a bad time to be a Miami sports fan, which you're not a Miami sports fan, so you could be happy about that.
The Marlins doing the same thing.
But you're a Panther fan, right?
I'm a Panther fan.
You're a Panther fan.
I'm an over fan when I go to the Panther game. I root for both teams to score when I go to hockey. I like high-action scoring games in the hockey. Hey,
listen, as long as the Panthers get it done this year, I could care less about all the other teams. So, how was your before we get into it, how was your
It was a great break for the last couple of weeks. Had a nice time with friends and families for the holidays. Now let's get ready to get in time, roll all the way to the NBA playoffs now.
But you missed doing the show because I
missed it.
I felt naked last week.
Yeah, I did too. I had a great time at the bar doing the show. That was amazing, Ben. And we had a great time down there with you. We'll have to do it again come basketball season in a few weeks. We'll go to someplace else. But, it was a rough time last week on Wednesday. I didn't know what to do on Wednesday, so I'm back in action here now.
Yeah, I went to sleep early on New Year's Eve. I went to sleep at 12:01. I waited just past the midnight just to say Happy New Year's to everyone, and I hit the bed like a light. So we have a big week, though. After taking a week off, which I wish we didn't, but studio was closed. We were all doing different things. We have a big week this week. Unfortunately, guys, if you're wondering where Scotty is, he's under the weather. He didn't quit the show. He didn't have a nervous breakdown because all his games lost last week or anything like that. He just is sick as a dog, which has been going around. Our producer, Ben, he was sick recently. I was sick a few weeks back, so there's a lot of stuff going around
down here big time. I mean, they said a big spreader was been to the Panther games, a lot of spreading there. the casino. They said half the dealers are sick as a dog there as well.
Well,
Just
if you
going
think
around.
about it, half the country, half the world even comes down to our neck of the woods for this time of year. I mean, you see how traffic is worse than ever. So, yeah, it gets really populated here this time of year. But like I said, back to action. We have a big weekend and rest of the week where we have either a college playoff game or a professional playoff game 5 days in a row: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I actually forgot when I was doing my breakdowns. I forgot about the Monday game. I didn't even look at it.
It's going to be a good game, too, on Monday night.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be using that game.
Nice.
Speaking of football, we got the bowl game coming down here tomorrow afternoon. We got
do.
the Notre Dame Penn State. So
It's a pretty cool bowl game because it's two real classic programs. These are two storied programs, two teams that have been there and back many times. And I know you don't have a pick on that. You could actually just lead me right into it. I'll just give my.
Well, you want to hear a funny story about this game? They're playing in the Orange Bowl. I live. You know where we live over there. The band is staying, and a bunch of the team stuff are staying right by where we live.
At that DoubleTree?
So you can't even,
across
if
from
you
the
go
mall?
shopping, you go to the Costco, Sam's, everywhere, you cannot find a damn orange if you want to make orange juice because they
No way.
everyone's buying out the oranges for this Orange Bowl. I got nothing no opinion on this game. I got Penn State to win it all at 8-1, so I might play a little side on Notre Dame just to cover my butt on this game. I mean, what is it, 1-45 right now, this game? But I got Penn State to win it all. My Oregon Ducks got knocked out. They actually didn't get knocked out. They got destroyed last week. But I'll lead you right in this Notre Dame Penn State because I'm rooting for Penn State.
Yeah, I know you're rooting for Penn State, and I'll just go ahead and get into it really quickly here. These teams, both of these teams have been impressive to finish the year, strong to finish the year. The Irish, I think that they looked really good against Georgia. Once I found out Carson Beck wasn't playing, I wasn't really sold on Georgia to begin with. I looked at this Notre Dame team. Georgia had that turnover inside the 20. That helped them. Notre Dame had a kickoff return against Georgia. That helped them. But I don't see them doing the same things against Penn State here. You have a team here that, number one, they're on 2 days less rest.
That incident happened in New Orleans over there.
Yeah, God bless those people, and we pray for New Orleans. But yeah, so they're on 2 days less rest, and one of their best players is probably not going to be playing. Their running back,
He's coming back. I heard today he could be starting in this game.
No way.
I just heard,
Jeremiah Love?
I heard it on ESPN today. He's could be coming back.
Wow. Well, that was part of the reason why I was going with Notre Dame, but, with Penn State. But I'm still going with Penn State. Abdul Carter, their main pass rusher, he was hurt, and either him or the team made some type of announcement that he would be playing this week, and that was a big, big piece of the puzzle I was looking for. The Nittany Lions are very good against the pass. They rank 15th in pass success rate and opponent EPA per pass rate. I don't think Riley Leonard can get it done against this Penn State team. I wasn't a believer as early as you were. I know you were a believer early.
I got him at the beginning of the season. I had
First,
Penn State. I think the first show we came out,
TK,
I had Penn State.
First
and
show
Oregon.
ever. I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? The new guy on the show talking about Penn State. And here they are in the last four, looking very strong. But I do like them here to get the small home dog.
I like Penn State too, but like I
upset.
said, I might.
Doesn't make
just
any
edge,
sense for you to bet it, right?
Well, I could just edge my bet a little bit. I at 8-1 on the game
That's what I'm
for
saying.
a season. I could throw a couple dimes on Notre
It
Dame.
would only so guys, TK has a futures bet that he made back in freaking July on Penn State to win it all. So now he might just put a little sprinkle on Notre Dame to get a little hedge action there in case Notre Dame does win the game.
Depends how many drinks I have before
There
the
you
game,
go.
so I could just
There
let
you
it
go.
ride.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to this Friday game.
Wow.
Ohio State, Texas. I'm going to throw the baton here to TK and let him roll with this
the
one.
Cotton Bowl, baby. We got the Ohio State 5.5 and 53. I'm jumping on the Ohio State Buckeyes on this one. Texas just 3-6 their last 9 against the spread overall. 1-5 their last 5 against the spread versus the Big Ten. Ohio State 5-2 their last 7 against the spread. Like I said, jumping on them here on Friday night. You know my record on Friday night. Ohio State Buckeyes minus the points to get the win on this one, go into the final matchup.
If you guys are new to this channel, TK has only lost one. I think it's one, right?
One, maybe two on Friday nights.
I'm going to say one. I'm going to give you the flowers.
I can tell you the game it
props.
was, too. Oregon.
Yeah.
When we got screwed on that extra point or whatever
it was when Oregon was up huge and the opposing team
kicked the field goal.
With a second left that they were down by 30 freaking points. They had no reason to kick a field goal, and they did to get that spread covered. But I think that was TK's only Friday night loser all
in the
year.
Football. I lost one in the basketball, I think.
So you like Ohio State?
Ohio State, man, just laying the points. They should win this game by 15, 20 plus. I just can't see Texas hanging with them. Texas is going to be a good team again next year as well. You know who their quarterback's going to be next year most likely. So they'll be in the top again. But Ohio State just too strong for this team here today on Friday night.
I'm on the other side of that one, TK. It pains me, but I'm looking at this. So
somebody's going to win. There's always got to be a winner and loser. So
the first look line on this game before Ohio State kind of had that run they had, like a first look line. If you told me a couple weeks ago Ohio State would be playing Texas, and what the line would be, I would say Ohio State -1 or 1.5. But Texas struggled a little bit, and Ohio State has been steamrolling. So because of that, Ohio State has that edge and that line edge. And I'm just looking at it like recency bias. So recency bias is letting what's happened in the last week or two affect decisions in this game. And I think that line is a little bit inflated. Not saying that Ohio State's going to lose this game, but I'm saying if I can get this at 6, 6.5, maybe even 7, give me the points with Texas. Texas is a team that, yes, they have not been dominant like Ohio State has been over the last couple of games. And yes, Ohio State is first in EPA per play, first in EPA per play allowed. It's scary, but Texas is right there. So, like, in statistics that Ohio State ranks 1 in, Texas might rank 3 in, right? So it's not like they're that far off in a lot of these statistical deep analytic categories.
Yeah, this game should actually be Ohio State against Arizona State. One play away from then this line would probably be Ohio State -10 or 11 points.
I was going to say 14, but
easy
yeah.
double-digit favorites. But,
and here's the thing. Under their coach, Ryan Day, Ohio State is 1-5 against the spread as a favorite on neutral fields. Now, that's not everything. It's just one trend, but a lot of stuff is just pointing to me. I'm seeing a field goal win by Ohio State. So because of that, I'm laying the points. I want to see if I can see this line jump. Like right now, it's
5.5 everywhere.
5.5 across the board. So like if I can find a 6 and see what it would cost me to move that 6 to 7, that would be something I would definitely look into.
Oh, that's college football
guys,
there.
We got an opposing view game. I was actually talking to a client the other day, and he said whenever we agree, he's betting it, no questions asked. But that one, we don't agree on. It's okay. It happens. And that does it for the college football playoffs. 2 games. That's it. They're going to be good ones tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday night. Now we move to the NFL.
Yeah, I can't wait for the NFL, man. This is what I've been waiting for, the NFL. It's going to be finally some games with meaning. For the last few weeks, only really a couple games with meaning. Now we got games with actual meaning, like I just said. And these lines open up, and they're just sitting about the same. There's no big line movements on any of these games, really. Maybe a half a point here and there. The Bills game move a point. That was probably the biggest jump of them all. But it's going to be a wild, wild weekend for the wild card playoffs.
It's exciting. I think the Packers game moved from like 3.5, 4, all the way to 5, and then back down to 4. So that line's doing some weird stuff. But for the most part, you're right. I mean, these lines really aren't budging. Ravens kind of teetering between 9 and 9.5. But you like the earliest game on the board, the first game on the board, Chargers-Texans.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
ready
take
for
it
this
off
one,
with
man.
that one, and then I'll go into my next one.
I'm jumping right on. The Chargers right now are 3, and I think the over-under is 42.5. I'm jumping on the Chargers in this one. The Chargers 5-1 their last 6 against the spread, 7-2 their last 9 against the spread versus Houston. Here's an even better set. They're 5-0 against the spread on the road. Chargers get us paid early on Saturday, and that's all I'm looking at on Saturday. I'm staying away from that Pittsburgh-Baltimore get more game. I mean, that's going to be a good game, big spread on that one. I'm just going to stay away that one. I'm just going to jump on the Chargers early, get paid on Saturday.
I like it. I like it. You know, sometimes I look at these games and I just say, hey, show me your QB, right? Especially when the line's 3 or less. It's like at that point, the team has to win the game, right? If you got a big spread, it's a different story. But show me your QB, and I'll take, Stroud's going to have his moments. He's going to get there. He had a little bit of a sophomore slump this year, Stroud, I think. He had that great rookie year, a little bit of a sophomore slump. I think he'll bounce back, but Justin Herbert is, this year, he's the much better quarterback. So I like that play.
And they're
as well.
the only home underdog this week, Houston. Only dog at home in the wild cards. That's unusual to be an underdog at home in the playoffs. But
it is. It's an
Chargers
unusual
can put
game.
up some points. I mean, I'm not, against them. I mean, they got a good defense as well. The total's low, 42.5. I'm staying away from the total, but just staying with the Chargers in this one.
You have a lot of games in this first round where you have teams moving in opposite directions, and the next game that I'm going to talk about is going to be that one. It's going to be the Steelers-Ravens game. You have a Steelers team that, they started off hot, then they stuttered a little bit, then they benched Fields, then they brought in Wilson. They started off hot with Wilson, and now they're kind of stutter-stepping a little bit with Wilson as well. So I'm going to harness the power of Scotty, who's not here with us today, but I'm going to go with what he always says in this specific situation.
You want me to be like Scotty and cut you off a bunch of times in the show? I can do that for you. I can do that. I'm in a seat right now, so I could cut you off a few times.
When I was getting all my write-ups done, I said to myself, well, Scotty's not going to be here this week, so at least I'll get to go long. At least I'll get to go. But yeah, so Steelers-Ravens, this is a Steelers team that's really, they've lost 3 out of their last 5. They're really, including their last 2. They're really, really trending downward right now. They have a pass offense that's ranked 27th in the league. Yes, they do have a good rushing game. Their red zone offense is 29th in the league. Just not, in my opinion, what it takes to get it done against the Ravens. You need a little bit of a high-powered offense, and they just don't have that. Yeah, their defense is solid, but it's really just their run defense, which the Ravens have the best rush in the league. So you're putting the best rush in the league against like the number 6 rushing defense, and then you're putting the Steelers pass defense, which is ranked 25th, against a quarterback that has been the first quarterback that's had 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 4 or less interceptions. No one's ever put up that stat line before.
There must be a little weather in this game in Pittsburgh, Baltimore. The total opened up at 46. It's down to 43, 43.5 right now. I don't know what the weather's like up there. It's got to be cold.
There's snowstorms coming through.
I think we had a snowstorm this morning down there. I woke up. I had to turn the heat on in the house.
I had to bring my tortoise in, Bubble. I had to bring him in the house.
50 degrees this morning when I woke up.
Whenever it goes below like 52, he's got to come in. So, here's the thing. Tomlin is very, very good. He's a great coach, and he does very well as a dog against the spread. Against the Ravens, Mike Tomlin is 13-3 as an underdog. But when the spread is 7 points or more, overall he's 3-14 straight up and 7-9 against the spread. So I'm throwing all those trends out, and I'm looking at very simple. You got Lamar. I do want to see Zay Flowers. He's kind of questionable right now. I'd love him to be in this game to really maximize, because we need to score a lot of points to cover that big of a spread. But I'm going with the Ravens minus 9.5 here.
Nice. Now we're moving on to Sunday. I'm staying away from the early game. I think you're jumping on the early game. I'm staying away from that game.
I'm on the early game. You're on the midday game. So I guess I'll take this one again. Listen, this is what Sean Payton came to Denver to do. He came there to start a new program, to get a quarterback that he can develop. It wasn't Russell Wilson, obviously. I think he knew that from the start, but he let him play the year out. And the thing with Peyton is, I think he wanted a young guy, a young QB that he could really mold the way he molded Drew Brees, and that's what he's doing. This Bo Nix, he's just getting better and better every week. This is, like I said, what everyone was waiting for, to see Sean Payton start a new thing, develop a new quarterback. And now the Broncos, they look solid. They have the 7th ranked red zone offense in the country. They need to get the ball down the field. If they get it inside the 20, I think they'll score some points. Here's some interesting facts against a great Bills team, but listen to their defensive rankings. 24th pass defense, 27th rushing defense, 18th in pass rush. I mean, third down defense, 12th, red zone defense, 16th. They're mid-level or below average on every stat line here. And, this once again is kind of like when I go back to the Texas-Ohio State game. To me, this is a lot of points. Do I think the Bills and Josh Allen are going to win this game? Absolutely.
You could probably buy this game up to 10. I see some nines and a half out there.
That's what I'm loving. I don't know why I put 8.5 there, but it's not 8.5 anywhere. It's let's see what we got here. No, it is not. It is 8.5 some places.
8.5.
But there are some 9.5s. Bet Online is 9.5. Yeah, there's some 9.5s here. And I would be looking for that 9.5 and then buying it to 10 and playing the Broncos plus 10. I'm seeing a lot of 9s, actually. So even at 9, I'm probably going to buy this one to 10. I don't think it's going to cost more than 20 cents, so I'd be playing Broncos plus 10 minus 130. And listen, this is Bo Nix. I think
should be a good game early.
I think it's going to be a good game. If you think early, maybe you're saying go first half.
I'm staying away. I'm not going against Josh Allen. He could either lights it up or he sits one down. That's how he throws. But
as a favorite in the playoffs, 7.5 points or more, Josh Allen against the spread. Now, of course, he wins the games, but against the spread, 3-7. So
should be a good game. Should be.
I think the Broncos, their coach,
the Broncos ain't gonna have a game like they had against Kansas City.
No, of course
Buffalo
not.
ain't gonna lay down.
Of course not. Of course not. But I think the Broncos, their coach, their QB, I think those three items, that three-headed monster, good enough to cover the spread, not win the game.
Well, let's see what happens on that early matchup. I'm going on the afternoon matchup here, Green Bay and Philly. Are you going to be on this game, or no? Are you staying away from this one?
I have a write-up, and I have some numbers on this game. I was really kind of not decided whether to play it or not because I have a lot of data that supports both sides. So let me hear what you have to say. Maybe you can sway me one way or the other.
I know what I'm doing this one. Right now, Philadelphia's 4.5, over-under's 46. I'm with Jordan Love and the Packers on this one. Scotty would love this one because, Jordan loves his boy. So I'm sure, I don't know what he's playing on this game, but I'm definitely jumping on Green Bay. Green Bay 5-2 their last 7 against the spread, 9-4 their last 13 straight up. Love has a big game on this one, and the Packers get us paid on the road, take out the Eagles. I don't want to hear that fly Eagles fly crap the whole game. All I want to hear is go Pack go, because the Packers will cover and win this game here on Sunday afternoon.
You think they win the game?
I hope they win the game. I'm a Packer fan. I'll be seeing Go Pack. I cannot stand them guys. My neighbor, he's got that damn thing on his stereo, fly Eagles, fly on the road to victory. If I have to hear that crap on Sunday, I'll go crazy. So I'm ready for, like I said, Go Pack Go on Sunday. I'll take the 4.5 points. Hope they win the game. I wouldn't play the money line, but I'm taking the points. It's going to be a tight one in this game. Probably come down to a field goal. Packers prevail plus the 4.5 on Sunday.
So I have some trends to actually support your case that I jotted down here, and it's not even necessarily my play, but here are some trends. When facing an opponent after losing to them in a previous matchup, Matt LaFleur is 25-14 against the spread. As a road dog in these revenge situations, Matt LaFleur 9-2 against the spread, 7-0 in his last 7. Now, all of that being said, they're also 0-5 against teams with 12 wins or more this season. So, to me, there's a lot of stuff, trends, analytics that support that Packers pick, but Jordan Love was slightly injured in this last game. He had some hand injuries, some hand issues. So he had some problems. And I heard that he's limited in practice this week. He's obviously going to play. There's no question he's going to play. But the question is, how injured is he? How hurt is he? Doesn't matter. He's still going to play hurt. But, yeah.
I can see the Eagles giving up some points for the Packers scoring on them. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts. I'm not a fan of the Eagles at all. But I can see the Packers moving the ball up and down the field on them. I mean, the Eagles' defense, it's not like it used to be in there when they had a big Super Bowl year. They're giving up points this year. So I could see the Pack taking advantage of that banged-up defense.
Yeah, the Eagles are against the run. They're top tier. Against the pass, not so much. But they do have. I mean, listen, they got red zone defense ranked fifth in the league. Third down defense ranked third in the league. I know what you mean though. Even though the numbers are there, they don't have that intimidating factor that they had a few years ago in their Super Bowl runs. At the end of the day, I cannot. At this point, this could change, guys. This is being filmed on Wednesday. Things change. Information comes in. Weather changes. People get hurt. All kinds of stuff happens. So it's not always a final decision. But at this point, I can't bet the game. Number one, I was leaning Eagles. But TK has been a superstar on the show, having swayed me back to the middle where I can't even make a play on this. So thanks, TK, for keeping me off the Eagles. You're keeping me off of them, but it is a little maybe homer pick.
It's gonna be a tight game.
If I didn't know you were a Packers fan, I might bet Packers. But now that I know you're a Packers fan, I might just stay away from the game altogether.
Yeah, we only got one more game left. I'm not on that one either. The Commanders, Tampa Bay. I'm staying away from that game as well. That's a tough one.
It's going to be entertaining as hell, though. You got Baker, who's been substantially amazing this year, and you got probably the rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels, face to face. It's going to be a great game. I'm not putting money on it. I'm sitting back and watching it, and I'm waiting for TK's final game for Monday night.
It's going to be Monday Night Football, the Monday Night Lights. I haven't given out a lot of games on Monday night. This one I'm definitely jumping on. We got the Rams right now. The line's a pick 'em. The over-under is 48. I saw the Rams play their last few weeks. They're going to take care of business again here. Rams 5-1 their last 6 against the spread, 5-1 their last 6 straight up, 5-2 their last 7 versus an NFC opponent. Rams take advantage of that home field advantage and win this one on Monday night.
Nice. Now, I'm not bringing up the NBA because I just don't put time, effort. I don't look at it.
Well, you know what NBA stands for, right?
No.
Nothing but assholes.
But like we were talking before, Jimmy's leaving. You got some movement potentially happening here. So I'm just going to move into college hoops.
We're talking about NBA now. I heard they're next year they want Charles Barkley mentioned a little bit. They don't want to compete with the NFL. They don't want to compete with college football. They've been saying it for years. I wonder if they'll make the jump in the next couple of years to start late December, early January, and then continue right through the summer. That'd be great. I mean, I know you're not a big NBA guy, but
well, here's the thing.
Since NBA says they're losing a lot of money right now.
That's what I was going to bring up. So since you brought that up, TK, the NBA is finally admitting they have a problem. That's the first step, right? They say like in life, the first step is admitting you have a problem. So the NBA is finally admitting they have a problem. But I don't think their problem is that they compete with the NFL because they've always had the same schedule. Their problem is if you watch an NBA game, these guys are just going to the line, throwing threes up, and it gets to the point where the team that's going to win is just a team that's hotter on their three-point shot, and everything else doesn't matter.
So they should move the three-point line a little bit further back.
That's one potential option there. I mean, at this point, we got to figure something out, but people are talking. I mean, Adam Silver has been talking about changing the game. LeBron James came out and said, people aren't driving to the basket. People aren't playing basketball. It's not, the game is
just... It's not like the dunks of the old days where they slam dunk on them. When you had Shaq just drilling the ball, breaking hoops and all that.
Or just guys working in the paint, guys driving into the paint, backing guys up.
As they were talking about that too. I don't know if it's true, but these fights that have been breaking out in the NBA game, those could be intentional just to try to drive up some ratings, because they got to get something going. There's no excitement.
Unless it's Draymond Green.
When was the last time you went down to a Heat game down here? I haven't been to a Heat game in at least 3 years.
I will never, you probably will never catch me at another Heat game. When LeBron was here, I would go to him a lot. But now, I mean, besides the actual sport, you got the traffic, major issues there. I'm not dealing with traffic, especially when I can walk to the Panthers arena and watch a better quality product, in my opinion. But that's why I love college hoops. I mean, yeah, some of these games are really bad. Some of these teams are like bad because they're just.
And you know what I like about college hoops? I know football is more of a brutal game, injuries and whatnot. these kids are now with the NIL. They're staying in longer. They're staying in school longer because they know they're getting that NIL money. So they're not jumping right to the pros anymore. And they're playing hard. And when it comes to the Final Four and stuff, they're not sitting out players because, I'm going to the NBA draft because they, like I say, get less injuries in basketball. But, it's getting a lot more exciting. You got some of these small schools now in college hoops getting some good TV time because they're getting more and more bigger players because of the NIL. So it's not the Kentucky, it's still the Kentuckies where they lost last night. Great game last night, too. Tennessee got knocked first loss of the year, I think.
I gave that on my free game.
I mean, I
should have known better.
The Gators, man, they could win it all, man. They're just such a powerhouse. They just shoot, dunk. They could just light up a scoreboard in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, number one offense in the
I mean, college basketball is one of my favorite sports to bet on. I mean, you watch these lines, they move. I mean, you're moving a couple points a game on the side, and they can move 4 or 5 points on a total. You're on the right side. You got an advantage in this college basketball.
I'm starting to.
If you're a gambler on sports and you're not betting college basketball, you can make more money in 1 week of college basketball than an entire season of betting football, most likely.
Do you know what I had? I had a guy who I was talking to about my packages and everything like that. Really good guy. He actually did become a customer. But he said, I was thinking now that it's January about shutting it down until baseball starts. I said, whoa. I said, are you nuts? Hoops. I said, you got the best sport. College basketball is the best sport to bet on. I don't care what anybody says.
The softest lines.
It's the softest lines. It's tons of options every night. You got Saturday where you'll have 100 games on the board. If you can't find 1 or 2 winners out of 100 games with the way how soft those lines are, you got problems.
Yeah, you look at NFL football, you got 10, 11 games on a Sunday. College basketball, you got more than that college basketball on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday, just like you said.
Sunday you'll have like 30, Saturday you'll have 100.
Doesn't even include the added games. You got the added games. I don't bet the added games, but there's so many games out there, so many off numbers. If you're doing numbers like, me and Scott doing our numbers, we're number guys. And you forgot to get that thing. I've got to get the homers in.
I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah, got to get that thing out there. But if you follow the number system, you can get huge advantages. Like I said, you can make more money in 1 week of college basketball than an entire month and a half of betting college football.
Absolutely. Well, for me especially NFL. I don't really love betting NFL heavy. College basketball and college football I bet heavy. But have you noticed? You said these lines move. I love looking the night before. If I I'm not too tired, I love looking the night before to see where they are. And then as soon as I wake up, I know all you people out there, you say you shouldn't be on your phone or your laptop first thing in the morning when you wake up. Well, guess what? When you do what we do, you have to. That's our job, right? I can do my blue light blocking at another time, but I need to, before I go to sleep, I need to be on. And when I wake up, I need to be on. And I need to see what the lines are at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And when you watch that line, so you'll see something go from like 2.5, then in like 6 in the morning, it'll be 3.5. And then you bet that. And then you look at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 5.5.
Yeah, well, if you're like me, you use Don Best, you used all the line services, you can set line trackers. So when the line moves a point and a half, you wake up in the morning, you got the whole screen up there, you can see where the lines moved. So if your numbers are set early in the morning and move towards your way, I'm jumping on it. If the number's moving towards my number, I'm on it.
Yeah, because you got to get on it before it moves further, and then you start to lose the value.
I usually move a couple lines early at night if I get home in time. If the line comes out and I'm there, I'll jump on some early lines.
You'll jump on it the night before? Yeah. I mean, sometimes I do, but I usually...
Well, it's getting hard, too, but a lot of these books now, I don't know.
Now, will you post it for your customers, those who might be interested?
Well, some guys I give it out early, but a lot of these books, they won't even take an overnight action. They'll give you a couple $100 limit on a game till the next morning because they know if you're sharp and they can move the line, they're only going to give you a small limit on the game. So that's why sometimes I don't bet late at night. But, because we can move these lines, man. We can move them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. These college basketball lines are moving around. Like I said, I don't do NBA. What have you been feeling about hockey this year?
Hockey, I'm really not a hockey guy. I watch the Florida Panthers, of course, because that's my home team. But other than that, I really don't bet hockey.
You don't bet hockey?
I stay away from hockey.
Okay.
Maybe in the playoffs, I'll throw a couple bucks on the game. But my main bet things are football, basketball, and I love baseball. I love baseball. I think baseball is the easiest sport you can make money at. Next to that would be college basketball.
Yeah, so I'm right with you, but I flip it. I say college basketball the
But
easiest,
college basketball, yeah.
and then I say baseball right there second easiest. You know, for me, back when starting pitchers went 7-8 innings, it was a lot easier to make money in baseball. And then, so you have to put a little more emphasis on your bullpen data now.
You know, the Marlins have not spent one penny in the offseason on free agency. They're only team in MLB that hasn't spent a penny. I think we
Why
might.
do they even exist?
I think they're going to be moving. They got to move that team. I don't know that they don't move them up to Broward County, put them next to where the Panthers played. And you got West Palm Beach, you got Miami, you got Broward. I'd go to every game if it was over by Panther Stadium.
You know, you're right. The problem is with Miami is you have a lot. For people that don't know the dynamics of South Florida, you have three main counties, Dade, Broward, and West Palm. And a lot of the money, a lot of the people that are fans of these teams are in Broward and West Palm. So to go all the way down to Miami,
it's a hike, man.
it's a hike. Look at what happened to the Panthers when you centralized them in Broward County. The fan base exploded.
Huge.
Teams winning Stanley Cups, powerhouse, packed house. Everyone's a
If
Panther.
the Miami Heat and the Marlins were all in the triplex right there, every game would be packed.
Yeah.
Hell, last year I went to a few Marlins games. It was the best deal in town. You got 2 hot dogs, 2 beers. You got whatever you want.
And they pay you $5.
$5. They move you to the front row. You know,
They pay you money.
only stadium in baseball. There's more away fans than there is. Except for the Chicago White Sox. I mean, they're the worst team in MLB. But
It's really sad. And the saddest thing is, this is a team that's won 2 World Series. Like, you would think that they would, enjoy that.
baseball will be starting. You're gonna have the what you call it coming up.
Wait, you
spring
really
training.
think they're going to move the Marlins?
They got to move the Marlins. Maybe not right away, but in the next 4 or 5 years.
Now, do you think just like a local move, or you're talking about like out of the state?
Out of the state, or maybe move them up to Broward County? That's what I would do. But that stadium has got no business down there. That Marlins Stadium. You know, they should have just gave that to the soccer team instead of building the soccer team. You could have the soccer team playing where the Panthers played. I'm not the Panthers, the Marlins played, and then they could have build a stadium up north for the Marlins.
I like it.
That's what I would do, but.
All right. Well, anything else?
What about your hockey? I know you play a lot of hockey. I see you post a lot of stuff about
hockey.
I
do. Last night I gave out Leon Dreisaitl.
What do you bet hockey? Do you play the money line? You play the puck line? What do you do?
So I'll tell you what I do. I play the money line, obviously. If I have a good 130 or 140, maybe 150, I'll roll with it. I don't really like to go above 150. One bet that I like, it's hard to find. You can't find it everywhere, but I do like it, is -1. So obviously the -1.5 puck line, if they win by 1, you lose. -1, you have to pay more juice, but if they only win by a goal, you don't lose. You push the bet.
I like the 3-way line in hockey. If I'm going to play hockey in the play, I like the 3-way, win, lose, or draw. So you can bet that tie in there. You can throw that tie in there and make a couple bucks, just like the soccer. So I don't bet soccer either.
So you're saying if you like a team to win, they have to win in regulation.
Yeah, regulation.
If it goes to overtime,
you're done.
You lose.
Yeah, that's 2-2. It's a draw.
Yeah,
you win. You lose. You lose.
So the reason why you would bet that, for those of you who are watching that don't understand what we're saying, if you have a team that's a favorite, let's say they're -160 or 170, and you don't want to lay that much juice, you can bet them in regulation. What would it be, like 120? 110, 120?
Maybe 20, 30 cents less.
So you're gonna get about 30 cents of a better line.
See, the American bookmakers are the ones that change everything. The money lines, the Europeans always like to have in the win, lose, or draw, because then that was basically like getting their juice right there, because the game ends in a tie. Everyone that's betting either side, they're losing.
Right.
So that's where they were making more money on that as well.
Yeah, I have a couple customers that use, they're in different countries and they use those lines, and I still can't figure. I still get confused.
I get confused with the 1.47,
1.6, 1.4.
Yeah, those are weird lines. Yeah. The decimal points or the fractional lines, those are a little weird too.
But yeah, I like playing the -1s. I also, like I said, I'm playing like shots on goal totals right now. I gave one for free. It actually saved the week. I would have been 0-3 on the week if that game didn't hit, but I'm 1-2 on the week instead for the free games, of course. we had Leon Draisaitl over.
Yeah, I get a lot of customers like that too. They ask me, where do you put on the prop plays? Well, first of all, I don't bet prop plays. You can stick with your prop plays. I know you play props, but
I don't bet a lot of props. I actually have a friend that
there's a lot of guys out there. Like you said, I watch these guys on Instagram. They got 42 bets in a game. Oh, I got a 32-team parlay, $1 to win 1.5 million on cash. Come on, man, you didn't hit that parlay.
Yeah.
But we say that all the time. I mean, it's crazy. Some of the shit I see posted on the internet. I mean, it doesn't happen. It does not happen. If you believe these guys are hitting 15, 20-team parlays, God bless you. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You might just go to play the Florida lottery or something. You got better luck than that.
And the reason it becomes hard for us is because we're doing the right thing. We're saying, hey, we're going to pick single games. We're going to try to win, 3, 4, 5 net units for the week. And other companies are out there saying, we're going to hit 10-team parlays for you, and it only costs $10 a week. Guys, if they were really doing that, they would not charge $10 a week. They wouldn't give them out.
I did have a customer telling me this the other day. He goes, why would I pay you $100 under whatever he told me when I can buy the same thing for $5? 2 weeks later, he came back to he goes, I know why that guy charged you $5.
Yeah.
You charge what you charge.
Yeah.
It's true.
You could pay $5, $10 for a week or whatever, but when you lose 1,000, that $5 ain't looking so cheap.
Nope. And
So-
I'm only giving out 2-3 games a day. So on my private service, one game a day like a vitamin, I tell them, private service been a little up and down in the last month or so. It's going to start heating up with the college basketball. But, these guys playing 9-10 games a night, you're not going to win.
No.
You're not going to win. It's
No,
impossible.
1 or 2, maybe 3. That's what I do. Some nights I take off. Some nights I play 2 or 3. Like on Saturday, I played multiple games, then backed it down on Sunday. So, yeah, we're going to be wrapping up here. I'm really happy to be back in the Podcast Junkies studio with our producer, Ben. We haven't been here in a while because last week we were off. 2 weeks ago was Quarter Deck. And
I miss Scotty busting your balls, man. It's not the same in here.
I was
going to tell Ben to start yelling at you or something. There's something going on here.
all right, you done? You done?
You done? That's it. There we going.
Yeah. It was a good one at Quarter Deck last week. He cut me off right in the middle of a breakdown. So.
I cannot believe I forgot the tequila this week. I even bought it. I went to ABC Liquors, got a bottle of tequila. I was going to put it in the middle. Open up the show with the shot, all of us having a shot.
Well, I think there's actually, we missed it, but there's an empty bottle over there as a problem.
Next week, I'm going to have it here. Even Scotty had a drink that 2 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it.
I've been to the bar a few times with Scotty, always daytime usually, and I've never seen him have a drink. This is the first time I ever saw him have a drink. So, so here's what we're going to do.
What we're going to do is we're going to have a big weekend this weekend.
We're going to have a big weekend.
We're
going to ask all of you guys who are watching this show to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're listening to it on Spotify and Apple, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but next time I come on, I'll find out and I'll let you guys know. TK, before I break it down, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, the best place to find me and the only place really to find me, you should go right to my website, tkwins.com. Got my daily free plays up there. You got stats, trends, whatnot on the site. And you can also follow me daily on at TKWins on Instagram. I get my free play out there as well. I got special offers on there. You can find me at either place, tkwins.com or Instagram at tkwins.
Perfect. For me, you can find me at the profits underscore pick on Instagram, youtube.com/@thesportsprofits, or my website, thesportsprofits.com. You can also find this podcast on YouTube, Get the Edge, Spotify, Get the Edge, Apple, Get the Edge, on all podcast forums. Now, that being said, whatever you watch it on, make sure you engage with it, whether it's a like, comment, subscribe, any of that stuff.
Let's get them to have a 5-star review. Give your show a 5-star review.
What is that, Spotify?
Spotify and Apple.
Spotify and Apple's 5-star review. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and put your notifications on because you never know. Sometimes Ben's a little bit late with getting the show up, like last week. So you got to get alerted.
I can't blame Ben. Last week he was editing from an unknown location.
Ben was he got hit with the same thing we're all getting hit with. So guys, thank you very much. Hopefully Scotty's back next week and I don't have to do this job, but I actually like this job.
You did a good job on it today. I mean, better than I would have did, I can tell you that.
I appreciate it, TK. I think it's my second calling. We will see you guys next week. Big time football action.
What a day, what a day.
What time's your next show?